Just like Hitler, they tell us what we want to hear, and as history repeats itself once again, too many of us are buying it. Fact: there are secret organizations that are plotting the worldwide destruction of free peoples and free governments. They are made up of the evil and narcissistic individuals who consider themselves the world's elite. They are people who are extremely wealthy and powerful. Many hold positions of great authority and leadership. They are leaders of nations, business tycoons, aristocrats, leaders of industry and technology, and many of them can be found within our own borders and within our own government. They are well organized, and their sinister plans have been in the works for decades. They, too, understand that deception is the way to gain control of the people. The days of world domination through military power are over. To gain control over people in today's world, you have to take a different approach. You have to gain control of their minds, their money, and their bodies. What if these secret organizations gain control of the mainstream media? What if they gain control of the financial markets? What if they gain control over food production and medicine? If they were able to accomplish this, it wouldn't be hard for them to control the information that we receive, essentially being able to brainwash us. It wouldn't be difficult for them to cause a financial meltdown, weakening the people and making them dependent on the governments. It would be easy for them to engineer our foods and medicines to make us sick and weak and unable to fight. Is it that far-fetched to think that all of this is possible? Have you seen any evidence lately that might make you think this could be possible? If the world's richest and most influential people wanted this to happen, don't you think it would be easy for them to buy and recruit the people necessary to make it happen? All of this is part of the truth that we must discover for ourselves. There is a mountain of evidence from credible sources to prove these facts. At the end of this video, we'll have a website link where you can get the facts and learn the truth for yourself. We the people includes you, all of you, and it is the duty of all Americans to uphold and defend the Constitution. We must first recognize the threats, all of the threats. The only way to do this is by removing the veil of ignorance and seeing the truth for ourselves. There is a bounty of evidence that unmasks the secrecy and deception and shows us the truth of these threats. It is up to you to see the truth. The majority of American colonists hated the British government. They recognized the threats to their freedoms, and they complained to one another about it. But when it came down to taking action, only 16% of all able-bodied men participated in the Revolutionary War. The other 84% sat back and watched. Yet when all was said and done, the 84% still gladly accepted their new gift of freedom, even though they had done nothing to earn it. Sadly, we know that history will most likely repeat itself again. Many people who see and hear this message will ignore it, or not believe, and therefore do nothing. In psychological terms, it's called the normalcy bias. People naturally want to believe that things will always stay normal, and therefore they deny that things will ever go terribly wrong. But we also believe, very strongly, that the good and moral people of this country, once educated, will stand up and fight to preserve liberty. After all, we are still the land of the free and the home of the brave. Will history repeat itself, where we see good men and women stand up for freedom as our founding fathers did? Or will we see history repeat itself in the form of another tyrannical government, this time on a worldwide scale? The choice lies before you. Your first choice is to remain ignorant. or to learn the truth. Our second choice is to act. The liberties of our country, the freedom of our civil constitution, are worth defending at all hazards, and it is our duty to defend them against all attacks. We have received them as a fair inheritance from our worthy ancestors. They purchased them for us with toil and danger, and expensive treasure and blood, and transmitted them to us with care and diligence. It will bring an everlasting mark of infamy on the present generation, enlightened as it is, if we should suffer them to be wrested from us by violence without a struggle, or to be cheated out of them by the artifices of false and designing men. One of the greatest attributes of humanity is the ability to refresh, restore, to start anew when things fall apart. Sometimes a fresh start is needed, a new beginning. America, this great and wonderful land that we love, is in need of a fresh start. Our White House and our Congress have been corrupted by individuals who are irresponsible, immoral, and who seek an agenda that is contrary to the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States. They need to be replaced by men and women of high moral character who uphold and defend the Constitution 100%. Men and women who are courageous enough to stand up for America and its citizens against all threats. Men and women who will rebuild America's economy through responsible money management and by bringing our products, our money, and our jobs back home. It is up to us, the people, to act, but we, the people, must be united. The colonists complained for years about the tyranny of England. They sent correspondence to one another. They met as communities, cities, and towns to protest against England. Some even had tea parties, and all of this created an awakening and camaraderie, but it wasn't until the people and all the colonies united together that they were strong enough to fight their enemy. It took united numbers and united resources to defeat the greatest empire of the time. In like manner, we must unite to defeat the threats that surround us and restore America to its greatness. Posts, blogs, and sending emails are not enough. This is phase 1, the awakening. Writing letters and sending complaints to our leaders is not enough. Even casting our vote every couple of years is not enough. We must organize and we must unite, just as our forefathers did. Only a united people, educated and armed with the truth, can eliminate these threats and restore America. With a united voice and a united vote, we can rid our government of corruption. We can oust every politician who does not uphold the Constitution 100%. We can repeal every unconstitutional law, act, and executive order. We can make elected leaders accountable to the people once again. We can halt the threat that these secret organizations pose to our independence and freedom. We must unite our numbers and our resources. Our great nation has seen its share of ups and downs. We have weathered many bad storms, including a civil war, 2 world wars, a Great Depression, the Cold War, racism and intolerance, terrorism, and many others. But we face a greater peril now than we have ever faced before. Our nation had to come together during each of those moments of crisis in order to survive. It is time to come together again. CUTRA, Citizens United to Restore America, has provided a way for all moral and patriotic citizens to unite. We have made it simple and easy. Just go to our website. There you will find resources and information on many of the threats that endanger our freedom and our sovereignty. Once you know the truth, we implore you to please join with us and spread the word before it's too late. Join Katra today. I would like all of you to imagine being part of something bigger than yourself, being part of a group of millions of like-minded patriots who love liberty and who believe in the Bill of Rights, to be united in the cause of freedom, a freedom that was purchased by the sacrifice of our founding fathers, the diligence of our ancestors, and the blood of our soldiers, to stand shoulder to shoulder in preserving this legacy and this gift. May God bless all of you, and may God bless America.